Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Mohan, and I'm here to share my thoughts on use of Six Sigma over the next 10 minutes. Please note that I am not trying to sell Six Sigma. Repeat, I am not trying to sell Six Sigma. Basically, because Six Sigma is a time-tested technique that's proved immensely successful in different sectors and in different contexts, and it does not warrant any selling at all. Okay. Now let's go back to the origins of Six Sigma. Basically, the first improvement that happened was in the caveman times. The history of improvement is as old as the history of mankind. Eventually, things turned out that improvements became dependent on a few brilliant individuals. Okay, and all innovation or improvements entirely depended on how these individuals felt or individuals wanted to do. After some time, improvements became slightly more structured, in the sense that there was a approach devised to improvements rather than being dependent on a few people. Traditionally, improvements were being driven by support functions like, say, industrial engineering or quality teams in different companies. Okay. Right. It turned out that the team that drove improvements used to claim all these improvements, but the rest of the company, most importantly operations, finance and the senior management, never felt the improvement at all. Okay. So it was a classic case of operation success but the patient dead. So there was a need to have an approach which would plug all such gaps in the improvement strategy. This is how Six Sigma originated. Basically, Six Sigma came up to plug in the gaps in existing improvement approaches. Okay, and the way Six Sigma is structured, it takes care of all such gaps, in the sense that all people involved, including operations, finance, management, all these people are able to feel the real impact of the improvement. It's not only a theoretical improvement but something practical. Operations are able to produce to higher quality and to a lesser cost. Finance is able to actually measure, feel their profit and loss account and balance sheet getting better because of Six Sigma driven improvements. And finally, senior management is able to see additional business coming in, their profits improving. Okay, this is why Six Sigma basically has become the rage. Six Sigma realizes that variation is an evil that needs to be eradicated completely. Okay, as I said earlier, Six Sigma evolved as a solution to the needs of improvement strategies. Six Sigma tends to re-engineer the process without any chance of errors occurring again. There is a logical continuity from start to finish in a Six Sigma improvement project. To share with you a bit about how a Six Sigma improvement project is typically structured, the entire improvement cycle is divided into 5 phases: define, measure, analyze, improve and control, which is abbreviated as DMAIC. In the define phase, the why and what of the project is defined and is approved by the senior management. This is basically to avoid any misconceptions or anything that could be misconstrued as a likely improvement after the improvement is claimed by the improvement team. That is, what is going to be improved is fully realized by the whole company, and when the improvement is completed, the results are compared with what has been declared earlier in the define phase. Next comes the M or the measure phase. Here the methods of measurement are frozen for the results as well as for the inputs, so that when the project is completed, there is absolutely no doubt on whether an improvement has actually occurred or not. Then comes the analyze phase. This is an important phase where the relationships between the output and the various inputs are analyzed and understood, and from all this is verified statistically. Six Sigma is an entirely data-driven approach rather than an opinion-driven approach or an expert-driven approach. Subject matter experts are leveraged in such a way that data is used for taking various decisions. In the analyze phase, by establishing relationships using data between the output and input, the vital few inputs, the vital few X's as they are called, the vital few X's that impact Y, the output, are identified. Okay. In the improve phase, the X's which are in our control, methods of controlling this excess, methods of improving the way the excess operate, the operating ranges for which the excess should operate are all fixed. Improvement ideas are generated, and the statistical solution that is obtained is converted into a practical solution. Typically, a practical problem is converted into a statistical problem, for which a statistical solution is evolved using data, which is then converted into a practical solution. Thus, practical solution is piloted, and the pilot is critically reviewed to see whether it has fulfilled the requirements which have been defined in the define phase, using the measurements documented in the measure phase. Finally, in the control phase, the new process, with or without changes after the improve phase, is finalized as the new process. Everyone in the company follows only the new process. The old process is now history. The related documentation, the SOP, the process maps, etc. are all updated with the new process. And typically the finance department does an audit of the benefits. Only if the finance department is able to physically verify the benefits. That is in cases where a financial benefit is involved. Typically, Six Sigma projects target the bottom line of the company, so that the whole company is able to benefit from any improvements. I would like to conclude now repeating that I have not tried to sell Six Sigma. I have tried to explain Six Sigma. What will be the benefits if we go in for a structured Six Sigma approach to business? Six Sigma is not just an improvement approach, it is an overall all-encompassing business logic. Thank you.